Because now people consider it. Well, maybe.
Yeah, then you have people that dignify this
and then
shit.
you get the biggest hip hop artist in the world to say, yo, in hip hop culture, who's
I think that is stupid. Why are you niggas, I know Drake is online, but why are y'all rushing to DM Drake about who he thinks the big three in hip hop?
What? That's a genius thing, Joe.
Because if he replies, I have something to go with.
I'm from the 90s.
And then I know, but shit, they not.
But
I think the biggest part of what they're doing. I think the biggest part about what they're doing is, I think, is less about that and more about showing that they have a connection with this person.
Exactly. That's the point.
Yeah.
So now the biggest hip hop artist in the biggest rap battle that we've seen in the last decade is sitting on a phone with me.
And validating.
Just the conversation.
Validating me as the top 3 person in hip hop media.
That's what happened? I missed this.
Well, no, he's not valid. No,
he said the big 3 was Ack, him, and Vlad.
I saw that.
And Drake was like, nah, we're not doing that. You got to take Vlad out and put Joe in. Which means Drake is still saying that academics is Joe. And if you want to infer, Adam is in the top 3.
Right.
Got it.
Even if he said, "Oh, you're completely wrong," and don't say anything else, the fact that he's responding to him
means something.
The person
dignifying
can use
even the
that.
conversation.
Yes, the person can,
or his
because
relevance in hip hop culture.
You know how many DMs or something he probably get an hour a day.
true.
So the fact that he's responding to that one gives them something to say. Hey, look, I have a line on this person.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's all it is.
And they was like, yo, you lying. He
That's
did
all
like
it
this. Slid the phone across and let them read it. Showing like, no, nigga, this ain't a made up story. I'm really talking to him.
I wish I would hit one of the biggest artists in the world with some bullshit like this and then run to my platform to talk about it. I just think it's corny. I'm not saying that there's not a reason that they do it, but boy, is it corny.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I agree with you. It's just we looking at it from 90s eyes.
Yeah, we just looking at it from how we
looking
grow
at it
up.
from 90s eyes,
Like
bro.
we grow up different.
All that shit today, if you can't prove it on the internet, it didn't happen. And all they care about is what they could prove on the internet.
It's a bunch of niggas just searching everywhere they can for validation, whether that be one of the biggest artists in the world or the internet. Like, what do you win if you're a part of the big 3, the big hip hop media 3, whatever y'all? What do you win?
Not a damn thing.
What's the prize?
No problem.
Is there some lotto money attached to this? Do I get to fuck the baddest girl in the room like one day? Like, what happens for being big 3 in media? I think Ish hit it right on the head, right? Like, the beautiful thing about this media shit is everybody has their own lane, their own brand, and everybody's doing what they're doing. The streamers win because they're doing shit in real time. Act is in real time. That is a real skill set to be able to sit there in a room and speak for hours on a day. And now Act is now getting exclusives, so watch out. He's also getting music.
Yeah, that's separating.
Niggas go to Nori and Gilly when they want a certain edge and feel to the interview. Nori hosts the old time legacy niggas. That's what he does. Gilly is more on the street side of things, but they're interview based. My point is, Elliot does the journalism thing. Everybody has something that they do. Who are any of us to discredit the other? I guess is what I'm trying to say in this. Adam. Once we get outside of numbers, and I am going to bring this back to numbers because I like numbers. But once we get outside of numbers, I think Adam is going through an identity crisis. Like, what is your brand?
I think
like the half of your set crew left. Y'all was on some gang shit. Now you bring Whack on. Whack is super polarizing. Outside of what looks to be some type of real world ran infrastructure. Nobody what are people going to you for? That's you. Adam, what's your name? Grandmaster Flat Grand. You got some real Ku Klux Klan name. Grand Mason. Grand Mason. Like, that's for him to try to figure out. In terms of platforms and numbers, because I saw Act say that in terms of platforms that are important, that hip-hop checks for, that kind of keeps up with the pulse of things. We acknowledge No Jumper as a platform. We acknowledge Vlad as a platform. But when it comes to hip-hop opinions, us wanting to hear what somebody think, I'm not putting those 2 white men in this conversation. I'm not putting people in this that die to be accepted, die to be validated, that shit on artists when they don't get an interview, that shit on culture when it's not going their way, that just exploits, takes advantage of. Everybody has a role here, so I'm not shitting on any of it. But when we stop talking about platforms and we just start talking about people, like, I think this is silly to even dignify. I don't pay it no mind. Like, it's just like conversation fodder. It's like something for podcasters to talk about. I know when I leave here and talk about it for the rest of the week, I'll see YouTubers on YouTube saying, hey, the hip hop big three. Dog, if you getting it, more power to you, because we're in a day and age where most people won't. I saw SO talking. I agree with that whole conversation y'all having. At the end of the day, there'll be 2% of people that make a living out of this shit, even through the oversaturation. So I don't have time to fuss with nobody. You making a living, and that's great.
Yeah.
I'm not attacking y'all. Don't attack me.